Behind the Mirror of Music with Dannii Cohen.
Hello, and welcome to Behind the Mirror of Music. My name is Dannii Cohen. This week's guest is Debbie Gravitte. Debbie Shapiro Gravitte is a much-loved Tony Award-winning artist who performed in They're Playing Our Song, Les Misérables, Jerome Robbins Broadway, Zorba, Chicago, Mack and Mabel, The Goodbye Girl, Love Life, Fiddler on the Roof, Boys from Syracuse, and much more. Currently, Debbie is starring in the Broadway musical Just in Time. I hope that you will enjoy the show.
Hi.
How are you?
Oh, you're a Phantom of the Opera.
Yes.
Cool. So, what are we doing?
An interview about your career and your time on stage and everything.
Fabulous.
What are you doing right now in your life and career?
What am I doing right now in my life and career? Well, I'm really busy. I go tomorrow. I'm going to Nebraska,
Wow.
which I'd like to see if all your people know where Nebraska is, right in the middle of the U.S. I'm going to sing Jerry Herman songs. We do this show that honors the late, great Jerry Herman, and it's sort of like a legacy show, and we do it all over the country, and I get to sing fabulous songs, including a song I first sang in the UK, um, uh, Wherever He Ain't from Mack and Mabel.
Oh, yes.
And then I'm going to Spain for a week to visit friends.
Cool.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Yeah.
I I have a company, so I sing all over the place, and I also have a company called Group 5 Productions, and I here's our logo. Look at that. Does it show? There we go. There we go. See this?
Yes.
And we book concerts all over, all over. So I produce content now too. And some of it, I'm sorry, I just got my hair done, so I'm admiring it. So we have great stuff, and I'm in some of them, obviously, and it's really fun. I love it.
That sounds amazing. I mean, producing your own stuff is always the best, I feel, especially these days.
Yeah, right? It is. It is.
How did you fall in love with music and theater? How did it all start for you?
How did it all start for me? Okay, that's a very general question, but I I mean, basically, I I just was always I loved theater. I don't even know how to start. I loved theater. I was loud and charismatic, and I took my little ballet classes, and I remember like I fell in love with Gwen Verdon in Damn Yankees. I was like, wow, what's that? That was a big thing for me. And it was like on the TV, so I could watch it. And then I just started doing local stuff. I grew up in Los Angeles, and I did local stuff. And then I remember I auditioned for something that was going to be in New York, and the guy said, "You need to come to New York." And I did a show in Los Angeles with a famous director, Gower Champion, and the people working with him were doing a new show in New York, and they said, "Why don't you come, wink, wink, and fly to New York and audition, wink, wink," which I had no idea that meant I was just going to get the show. And I got my first Broadway show, and it closed out of town. It was called Spotlight. And then I got an agent, and then I got my first Broadway show, which was They're Playing Our Song. And it sort of went on from there.
a great start. So fast, because there's usually so much. Most people have a very, very long story. You just boom got there.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of in between stuff, but that's like sort of what
Yeah.
happened. I mean, I did a lot of weird things along the way, and a lot of obviously theater, at the hotel in Arizona for, 80-year-olds and I mean, I've done a lot of stuff in between that, but that's like how it sort of like began.
One of your, I think, first Broadway roles was Fantine in Les Misérables. What was that?
Yeah.
What was that time like for you?
Well, it was really fascinating. It was the first time I had replaced in a show. So, I was used to doing, original stuff and where you create a character, and all of a sudden they asked me to come in, and they were like, bringing in stars, for like 4-month contracts. Well, a little funny thing happened. While I was doing it, it turns out I was pregnant with twins.
Oh,
So, I so I could actually only stay in the show for 2.5 months because my gynecologist came. I don't know if you call it the same thing. I'm turning off my sound so we don't get bugged. So I could only stay for 2.5 months because I was very pregnant. I mean, it didn't really show, but like every week they had to let out my stuff because I had twins in me. And I didn't know. And then I found out and I went, uh-oh. And then my doctor came to the show, and, Fantine is sort of thrown about.
yes.
And my doctor said, you can't do that. You can't do that. So I had to leave that show. And the thing about Les Mis which was really weird, was the first time I'd been in a big British show where there were tracks, because tracks didn't exist. You used to have a role and then there'd be an understudy in this. But I remember saying to the stage manager, Beth Abel, who ended up stage managing my son a few, years later. And I said, I'm so sorry. Oh, I think I know, because I never missed shows when I did shows. I don't miss shows, but I had to miss one day. I was really ill because pregnant thing. And I remember going to her and saying, I think I'm going to be out tonight. I guess I'd done the matinee. And so I think I'm going to be out. And she just went, okay, we're going to get blah, 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 blah to do the Fantine track. And then we'll do the da-da for the track. And I was like, what, am I a track? And that was like my first experience with that. So anyway, it was sort of fascinating. I mean, it was a glorious show. It was just an incredible show to do. Amazing.
What were some of your favorite roles during your career?
Well, I mean, every show I've done, I've been in love with. I fall in love with that person and the people around me. And I mean, I loved doing Fantine, except for being on the barricades. Very uncomfortable. For those of you who haven't tried, it's really metal. You are really on a barricade. So, I love doing Fantine. I loved all the roles I got to do in Jerome Robbins Broadway, because I got to be, the cab driver from On the Town. I got to be Mazeppa from Gypsy, and, I got to be all these things. And, I got to play Gypsy Rose Lee in a show, in a really bad show. And I mean, all the shows I've done, I have loved. But I've also done other shows, outside of Broadway. Anything Goes, The Pajama Game. I'm still waiting to do Gypsy for any of you who have, millions of dollars. I really want to do Gypsy. I'm ready now.
That's a great show. It's strange it doesn't really come to Europe or UK much, because it's such a great show. show for a female actress.
Oh my God, it's amazing. I think it was in the UK.
Yes.
It's been there. I'm pretty sure. I mean, I know it has been, but they need me to come and do it.
And we did, as you said, Mack and Mabel in London. How did you feel UK theatre difference from Broadway and American theatre?
It is. I mean, I got called to do a concert version of Mack and Mabel. This was many years ago, and I was flown, Uber first class. It was all just the most amazing thing with, cast of thousands, it felt like. And the London audiences just absolutely loved it. I got offered to do uh, Taming of the Shrew while I was there because somebody, some producer or director fell in love with me. And I was like, but I had like I had signed for a pilot in Los Angeles and I was like, I'm sorry, I can't do it. Um, I mean, it was really a spectacular. It's when I first fell in love with London. Just, I went, wow. Because in New York, the theater community is sort of like, let's say it's this large, this space. In London, it's all sort of like, it's much more compact. The area where the shows happen, where people rehearse, et cetera, et cetera. Now, maybe it's like different since I've been there, but I loved it. I really did.
Was your version the one with George Hearn, I think?
I'm sorry?
Was your Mack and Mabel the version with George Hearn?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. And Tommy Tune and Francis Raffel and Georgia Brown, the great Georgia Brown.
Pieces of that over the years. It looks so lovely and sung so brilliantly. It's really amazing version.
It was really fun. It was it was amazing. Amazing experience for me.
You also did Mama Morton in Chicago.
I did. I did. So that was the second show that I replaced in. And I didn't love it at first because this was when I went into Les Mis, they really took incredible care of me, putting me into the show. And it was a really amazing experience. I got time and, you have to rehearse on the turntable and, I'm sure the cast like was over having put-ins because, a put-in is, the cast has to come in and like rehearse some more after they've done the show a million times. But I actually went into Chicago. I had a little less rehearsal, and I went in with Patrick Swayze and the great Patrick Swayze, and who ended up lasting a week in the show. He really live theater wasn't really his milieu. So, but I have had a great time. I loved the character. It was really fun. I would rather have been Velma, of course, but it's okay.
What I also saw the all-female version of Jesus Christ Superstar.
That was a recording that we did, and the amazing thing about that was um, the woman who put it together, Morgan James, she said, I have a great, we're going to do this album of Jesus Christ Superstar, and it's going to be amazing, but there's only one catch. And I was like, what's the catch? She said, we have to do it in the original keys. So I had to sing really low. And it was, so, normally as a singer, you warm up. I had to warm down. I had to really get my voice down, down, down.
Weird that you had to keep the keys when it's a totally different type of voice.
Yeah, exactly, like a male voice. So, but it was fun. She knew I could do that, and I did it. It was a really fun experience. An amazing cast. I mean, it's an amazing cast.
It is. I think that that might be the reason how Cynthia Erivo is now doing the role live this year as Jesus.
Oh, right. Yeah. Wow. Yeah. Of course, I didn't work with her because it was a studio recording. So I went and did my stuff and she did her stuff. And
Do you still have a dream role?
I think my dream role right now is to do Gypsy. I really do. I mean, I think that I'm enough of an optimist to think that like maybe my show hasn't been written yet. So, we'll see. But right now I think my eye is on doing Gypsy somewhere. I mean, there are a lot of shows I really love. I mean, there's so many great shows in the canon of musical theater. But I think, yeah.
I think it's great that there are so many shows. So there always is something that might come someone's way.
Yeah. I'm manifesting it. So
How do you think theater has changed over the years? Do you feel something has gotten better or worse?
that's a weird thing to sort of, quantify. I love that theater is reaching more people, that people love it the way they do. I'm sort of appalled at what's happened in terms of the cost. And, in the United States, I'm sure you've heard about this, maybe not. They're doing a production of Othello. There was a ticket price of $971 to go see Othello. So what does that say? That says, wow, people really want to see that. But it completely takes it out of the affordability.
True.
People, the everyday Joes and Janes and whoever can't go to see the theater and fall in love with it. I mean, what about all the people who go to see Wicked 50,000 times? I don't know how they afford I don't know how they afford to do that.
Me.
Yeah. So I don't know what's going to happen with that, but musicals now are being capitalized at so many millions. And so therefore they have to charge the audience more and then the stagehands need more money and the actors need more money. I mean, it's just this pile on. And so that's the bad part of it. The great part is that people do love the theater, and I think the West End is doing well because I know that Broadway is doing really well. A lot of people are going to shows. The thing, sorry, I'm just blithering on, but I'll just keep going. The thing that I think is missing and important is that we need to be able to nurture, all the new people, all the people coming up who, might not know somebody with, $15 million. And I don't know how that happens anymore because, the trickle down to a lot of smaller theaters are having a hard time getting people back since the pandemic. I mean, it's a whole thing. There's a million different things to it. But the bottom line is when it's a good show and people want to see it, people turn up. So it's great.
I think it's sort of the same around the world because, well, since the pandemic, of course, prices have gone up all around the world. And I think it's worse on Broadway compared to what I see in other countries because but they say Broadway is the most expensive place to produce as. Yes.
I don't know how people do it. I really don't.
I mean, even that Andrew Lloyd Webber saying that he had a problem bringing his shows to Broadway because it was too expensive. He said, if it's so expensive for me, what about these smaller production companies?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And then they do these limited runs, and I don't know how they get their money back. I really don't. I don't understand it. I don't understand the business model at all. But
I think that's why they put the price up so high to get it back in so as fast as possible, I think.
yeah, exactly. Crazy.
Yeah. I mean, in the past, I think shows could run for a few years and slowly earn everything back and then start earning. But now it has to go fast, fast, fast.
Right. All right. How did you get into theater? What's your connection?
Well, I loved it, I think, all my life because, I think the same as you. At first, I saw stuff on TV, and then I could go with my mother and my grandparents. Then I started loving it, and I started doing it for a few years. But unfortunately, because of health problems, I couldn't continue performing. So I started doing this as a way to continue my love for theater and bring it to other people.
Oh, that's fantastic.
I want to ask, what are some of your favorite stage memories?
Wow. You know, every standing ovation is pretty fantastic, I have to say. Um, opening nights are really a spectacular thing. Uh, I did a show a few years ago. It was called Perfectly Frank. It was all the music of Frank Lesser. And it was one of the first shows I did. It was actually my second Broadway show. And I did a song called Junkman, and they wouldn't let me off the stage. They would not. It happened at the first preview, and then it happened opening night again. And, I left, to get ready for my next entrance, and they like pulled me on stage to take another bow. That was pretty spectacular. That's, there's nothing like that stopping the show. So I totally forgot about that until you asked me. Yeah, that was amazing. Really amazing.
It must feel so wonderful. I mean, at the moment, you must feel so loved and for yourself, and that they respect your talents and everything. It's great.
Yeah, it's pretty great. Um, this is so random, but I was doing a show called Zorba, and I was in Los Angeles. Before we came to Broadway, we did 9 months out of town, right? So we toured the US, and one of the stops was Los Angeles. And again, I'm born and raised there. So my Auntie Faye came, and the bows had, at the end of the show, and this is before anybody had stood up. And my Auntie Faye stood up and went, "Hi, Debble." That's what she called me. And I just remember, like, I love my Auntie Faye so much. And then, it was adorable. It was really adorable.
So lovely. Getting back to Les Misérables, it's turning 40 this year.
Oh my God. Wow.
What do you
That's
think?
crazy.
What do you think that makes the musical so endearing to people? So that it's
Well, it's a classic story. I mean, it's a classic that we all read or didn't read when we were in school. It's good versus evil. It's forbidden love. I mean, it's like just got so many themes. It's redemptive, it's political, they're great bad guys and great good guys, and and it's so moving. And then the score is just, who can do that? And it's all completely sung through, which is amazing. I mean, it's just something that we all like carry with us now. We all know the score. Um, I certainly knew it before I even did it. Did I know it before I did it? Probably not, but but now I know it, of course. Um, and it's so powerful. I mean, there's just you can't doesn't get any better. Really doesn't. When I saw it, I was weeping. When I did it, I was weeping. It's a perfect show.
it is. And I think it's there are so few shows in the musical theater history that's really stayed with people, that last and last and keep returning.
Exactly, exactly. I mean, I can't believe Phantom is gone from here now. Is it still running in the UK?
Yes.
Now and forever. Yeah.
I think it's coming back to New York somehow. It keeps I keep hearing things about it anyway.
Oh, I wouldn't be surprised, and it'll do really well. I think it will. Yeah, because it'll be yet another generation will discover it.
I think I heard people say that anyway, that at the moment they're missing a real big gothic show on Broadway.
There you go. There it is.
I think there was a bit of a moment when Sweeney Todd was there, and then
Yeah, that sort of came and went.
yeah,
Yeah. Well, I'm available for Mrs. Lovett if anybody's looking.
I think it would be great at that thing. I know I got this vibe, but I think Norma Desmond would be something as well.
Yeah, I haven't seen this version. It's got a lot of interest. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Another great show.
I think a lot of people thought Norma was too young this time, or at least appeared too young.
Oh, right. Yeah. Yeah, I saw that in the UK. Oh my God, I saw that in London with Glenn Close. Or no, with Betty Buckley. Wow. I think I was singing at Pizza on the Park.
That's another one of these great shows that keep coming back. It's
The great shows always come back. Always.
Love Life and Boys from Syracuse.
Oh, the boys from Syracuse. Yeah. That was a great, so they, I'm sure you've heard it's called encores, and they do the, originally the goal was to do sort of lost shows or forgotten shows and in these concert versions. And of course it's sort of blown up and now things move from there, et cetera, et cetera. But we did Boys from Syracuse, which just has this great Rodgers and Hart score. And ah, it was just, it's an amazing recording. It is an amazing recording. It's one of my most proud recordings, besides my solo albums, of course.
Yes, it's some lovely albums I saw. I got to.
Yes, I've done two with the great John Yapp in London.
J Records. Yes.
J Records, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did Defying Gravity with him. Defying, yeah, it was called Defying Gravity. Yeah, it was like the first recording of Defying Gravity. It was a big deal.
I love I love his production company. He has so many great
Oh
albums.
my God.
Yeah.
I did Calamity Jane with him. I think I've done other things too, but I did Calamity Jane. Big studio production. Like, it's amazing. It's amazing what he would do.
Yeah, I think that he brings back classic musicals and stuff that's forgotten, and it's so lovely because and you finally get to hear something, and he has the best artist, I think.
He does. He asks great people, and yeah, really fun. Love doing those. Dannii, I'm gonna say I need to run right now. I have to get on a train to New York because I'm flying out tomorrow, blah, blah, blah. So I'm sorry.
Have a wonderful time, and best luck with everything.
You too, Dannii. Keep going. I love what you're doing.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. We'll speak soon.
Okay, we will. Bye.
Bye.
Behind the Mirror of Music with Dannii Cohen.